Where good ideas come from. Bum, 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 bum. Hi guys and welcome to a new episode. Today we will be talking about Steven Johnson's TED Talk, where good ideas come from. Let's get started. Now where do good ideas come from? Turns out nowhere. It just comes in from your head. But it turns out there are actually a few places or a few sort of environmental subjects that sort of help the good ideas to come from. It's not like it was once like just dark and eventually it just turned bright as day. But it turns out it wasn't like that at all. It was like always you had the idea inside, but you never knew how to harness the idea. Eventually you found the idea and you found a way to harness it and to be able to, make use of it. Eventually this went to all of us and had some sort of a potential to our world. Now this sort of idea, think of it as an energy, or to myself, a light bulb. Because, when you think of it, this is sort of like a light bulb. You know, like those moments like the Eureka moment, or the light bulb moment, or the water bulb moment, or something I call the what moment. Well, it's sort of like that, except you just think of it, and how you get ideas depends on the person. But it just sort of seems that maybe there are just some things that seem to happen as they don't go as soon as possible. But as soon as they do, they're pretty much there. Now, people have loved and gotten ideas for centuries and decades. Some people might have had the idea before even they realized they actually had it. Now, let's take Charles Darwin as an example. Now, Charles Darwin himself was that guy who found out about the theory of natural evolution, meaning that we evolved from lowly high-level apes all the way to big, bold humans. Bum, 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 bum. But then, why did we do that? Okay, that's not actually the point, but the point is Charles Darwin, at least in his autobiography, said it really quick, in a very short amount of time. It was supposed to be this long, but he shortened it to talk about it that only happened about this long. But as I said, it's nothing that much. And not that much when you think about it. He said that he was working on something and he's like, Eureka! I just got it! And he's hacking his brain into it and he's like, bang, stop! Eureka! I just got the idea! And that's what some people actually said. And then some people actually when you actually look at the historical events and at least Charles' notebooks, you might realize that he actually had the idea sketched down already. It's just like he didn't know how to scan, how to remove the idea from something, how to harness the idea. He didn't know how to harness the idea from a very strong grasp into a good potential idea. He was able to chip away some of them and eventually find harnesses of the idea, but he wasn't able to get the full idea until one day he was able to harness the whole idea itself. This idea making isn't like how many people say, a eureka moment is just a short moment. It's actually a long moment. Also, where and how and where good ideas come from, it actually depends on you. To me, by the way, it's just in the Starbucks coffee shop and right near the mall near us. Actually, right next to us. And also, the place that I'm pretty sure that maybe a lot of people might choose coffee shop as them. It's a lot of shady people here. There's a lot of places that sort of happen that they like. Either it's a coffee shop, or a home, or a piano man kai, or the outside world even, or at school. Wherever you are, it might also be a good place. Let me tell you an interesting story about something. There were two scientists who were trying to hack a radio, and they found to hack a radio so that they will find the Sputnik 1 satellite's signal, which the Russians made very easy to find because they were scared that the people would think this is a hoax. And then it turns out it wasn't, and they were able to realize that some beeps were softer than the others, and others were louder than the others. And then they realized, since this is a Doppler effect, we might be able to calculate the exact positions of these places. And eventually, with a little simple math, at least simple to them, and with the Doppler effect, they were able to calculate the whole stream of lines in some sort of matter of minutes. So yeah, it sort of happens like that. And that's how it works. We might have never known about any of this in the known world until today, but since we know all this today, all we need to do is wait and just feasibly do some sort of things in mind. As the colors blur past quickly, there are just some sort of things that nobody has ever thought of, and when you strike round, you might just get one idea that might change the world and that no one has ever thought of. Others might have thought of this, or this, or this, or someone might have thought of this, but rarely people choose the black ideas, which are usually the good ones. So eventually, this is how GPS was born. Like, their boss was like, "Hey, you have been able to track an unknown location from a known location. Can you do it the other way around? Like, can you track an unknown location on the ground from a known location of a satellite in space?" They're like, okay, we might do that. And eventually they did a lot of coding. Eventually they studied a lot. And they did a lot of mathematics. And then they realized that it was actually way easier to do that than just like doing the original. And eventually it started going into the Cold War, and everything was like that for the end of their days. So I just hope that some people have been inspired by this video to do a lot of things that some people might never have ever thought of. Harnessing energy, and also thinking of harnessing idea energy for that matter, is a very strong process and a very complicated one for that matter. But as we get better and better, you might get better and better ideas. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Before you guys leave, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. Not out, and peace.